Welcome back to WagerTalk.com. Sunday NFL action. We've got the New York Football Giants traveling to play the Super Bowl champs, Seattle. And Brian, this is going to be your free play, and I'm just going to ask the question. What the hell has happened to the Giants? They had 2 weeks to prepare, coming off a bye week, playing a primetime game at home, lay a complete egg, and all of a sudden, Seattle, they've got some problems. And they're not the number 2 ranked team in the NFL, I'll tell you that.
Well, last week they were a 3-point road favorite. Indy was a 3-point road favorite of the Giants, which means they're a 6-point neutral, which means they're a 9-point home favorite. Seattle's a 9-point home favorite. They're basically, the Colts and Seattle are equal.
I don't think they're playing equal right now.
Well, that's the thing, and the Colts are not the second best team in the NFL. But basically, and I had the Giants last Monday night. I thought it was a great spot for them, and you're right, coming off of that bye. Well, now we see what we normally see. A team gets blown out on national TV. Now they're playing on a short week, traveling out west, playing the world champs. Nobody wants the Giants here, and as we've done this so many times, when nobody wants a team, that's when I want them, that's when you want them, that's where the guys who bet for a living want them. Seattle's a team right now just not playing well. I mean, you take a look at the defense from last year. They were sacking the quarterback. They were making interceptions. This year, not doing either one. They have some offensive line problems right now. The running back, which was a stud last year, he's had one 100-yard game. Lynch in the first game of the season, nothing since. Seattle is living off of past glories right now. They lost a lot of defensive players in the offseason, a lot of key defensive players. This is not the same team as last year. And we saw it last week. They get the big lead over Oakland, can't hold on. If Oakland gets the onside kick at the end of the game, they may lose that game. So I'm not laying big points with Seattle against a team who's just embarrassed themselves on national TV.
And to go further on the Seattle demise, they only beat Oakland, like you said, by 6 points. They were +3 in a turnover margin. You're +3 in a turnover margin, Brian. You're supposed to win games by more than 6 points, especially when you're a huge favorite like they were against Oakland. They're not playing good. And it goes back to, as you said, the defensive losses that they had from last year, this year. That's definitely a big factor. You could see that when 3 of the last 4 games they gave up 30, 28, and 24, and the 24 being to Oakland, a team that generally can't score. The only team they held in check was Carolina. And both teams moved the ball between the 20s in that game. If you watched it, they both were kicking field goals. And we know Carolina's had their problems this year. But what my problem with Seattle is it goes deeper than just personnel that they lost. The chemistry is gone from last year. This was a team that was a close-knit team last year. I don't see that this year. And obviously, you start with Golden Tate doesn't re-sign on the offensive side. He goes and signs somewhere else. That, coupled with they get rid of Percy Harvin, because that was a problem in the locker room. They had to do it. When you're cutting in mid-season, your best offensive threat, you've got serious problems. And right now, with no Golden Tate, no Percy Harvin, how do they stretch the defenses? That's why Marshawn Lynch is not getting his yardage, because they're not respecting the passing game of Seattle, because where's the threat coming from?
Yeah, I agree. The lack of receivers, lack of playmaker receivers are a major reason why the whole offense is affected, and the offensive line hasn't done as well. So everybody who looked so good last year when they were all playing together as a team, it's not the same team anymore. And we find this every single year. It happens in game or in season 2, where a team will be playing great. Pittsburgh right now, certain teams playing great, and then later on they're playing lousy. It's just the flow of the NFL. And right now, Seattle's not playing well at all. And that unbeatable home field advantage, I think the players are starting to question themselves a little bit, because not only are they not covering, they got games that they're really struggling to win. The Carolina game, who's to say that they were the better team in that game? Yep. They could be in serious trouble right now.
All right, Brian says to take the New York Football Giants, grab those points. I got to agree with them. I think that's the way to go in this one. Brian says take the Giants. Guys, if you're new to WagerTalk.com, we've got a special offer for you. The first time you make a purchase at WagerTalk, You make a purchase of $12 or more, email support@WagerTalk, give them your username. We'll verify that's your first purchase at WagerTalk, and we will put an extra $50 in your account. That's right, we'll take $50 out of my pocket, put it right in your account for you to use however you like at wagertalk.com. That's the first-time buyers. That's it. We've got another NFL game. If there's one more NFL game left, that means it's Monday Night Football time, and that's up next, wagertalk.com.